Welcome. In this video, we'll be seeing how to use nginx to load balance multiple node.js applications, and apart from that, we'll be also seeing how to use nginx as a web server. And these are the two things that we're going to be doing in this video. And actually, I have put the timestamps in the video below. You can just go and watch from wherever you want. And so, first of all, let's get started. So, first of all, nginx is a web server that can also be used as as I say, it can be also used as a reverse proxy or a load balancer or some other things here. So you can use that as you want, but in this video, as I said, we'll be seeing a web server and load balancer. So yeah, let's get started. So before that, I want to say that moments ago I just posted a blog on this thing where I actually I get through an overview of what I'm going to do in this video. Actually, I'll post the link in the description and you can just go and watch that there. So this, as you can see, this is just a walkthrough of what it's going to be, and you can just go and read the article if you want. So first thing, we need nginx on our computer. So what we are going to do is that in Mac, I'm going to do brew install nginx. So I already have nginx, but you need to run this command if you don't have nginx on your PC. And if you're either Windows or Linux, you can install from any of the package managers, and I think there's so much on the internet you can see. So I'm just canceling this now, so that, but in your case, if you haven't installed, just go and do this so that it gets installed. So after installing, what you want to do is just run this command nginx, so that will start the web server. And by default, you will have your configuration files in this path. It's /user/local/etc/nginx/nginx.conf. So this is what you'll be having. So what I want to do is go and remove everything in this. Just make it plain and save that and quit. So what we're going to do is we're going to code this from scratch, and we're going to be writing everything from scratch, and we don't want any templates. The default templates that they provide. What is a load balancer? Why is it even used? Why do we even need that? So first of all, if there is something, I think it is solving a problem, right? So what problem does that solve? So let's take a scenario. There's a browser and there is a server, and this server is getting 30k requests per second. Okay, so the traffic is so huge, and you're getting 30,000 requests per second, and the server is experiencing high load. So whenever there's high load, you would be experiencing latency or weird things happen on the server. This is the problem that load balancer is solving. So what load balancer is going to do is that, so keep in mind that one server is taking up 30,000 requests per second here. So let's see what load balancer is going to do here. Okay, so this is a browser, and what we are going to do is, we had a single server here, right? In this load balancer technique, what we are using, we would clone these servers and make multiple copies of that server. So whatever is on this server is what is present on other servers also. It's just a plain copy, nothing more than that. So the load balancer would receive the 30k requests per second, as we have seen, but what it does is that it distributes the load between these servers. So if the first request goes to server 1, then the second request goes to server 2 or 3, but not to 1. So if you see from that perspective, you can you can imagine that, you can conclude that each server is going to get 10k requests per second, and instead of 30k. So that's really efficient thing that the load balancer has done. Usually the algorithm that load balancer uses to select the next server to which the request is redirected, that the usually load balancer follows round robin technique, which means that you take the first server, then the next request go to the second server, then the next goes to third, and next goes to 1, and so on. So that's what is happening here, and you can see that this is a problem that the load balancer is solving. So what we will be implementing this, and we'll be seeing how is that going to work, right? So what we're going to do is that let me show you. Okay, so what I want to be doing is that, so we will be having two servers. So this is the first server. Let's say this is going to run at port 1212, and we have another server which is going to be running at 1313, and I want to have a load balancer here. So let's say a load balancer here, and any request that comes here, I want to distribute the request load in a round robin manner, as we have talked about that. Oops. So whenever you hit, I want to just display something like app is running on port 1212, or app is running on port 1313, and that must be the only thing I want. So this is going to be a very simple application, and yeah, so it won't take much time creating that. So yeah, so let's go start with creating that. I'm on my desktop, and I'm going to create a new folder called nginx-load-balancing, and I'm going to cd into that. So the folder is right now empty, and what I want to do is I want to first init here, so with the y flag, which means write everything default, and I have a package.json. The only package I want to install right now is Express. I don't need anything other than that. Also, when I said that there are going to be two applications running on two different ports, I didn't mean that I'm going to create two applications, but I'm going to create one application and run that simultaneously on two different ports. So that's what I meant. Here it is installed. We can see that there is node modules folder, which means that Express is installed. So we can create an index.js file, and we can just put in the boilerplate that we are going to do on every index.js. So we'll be requiring Express, and I would be creating an instance of Express. And here I think this line is pretty important, because I want the port variable to be process.env.port and nothing else. So if there is no port variable defined, just throw an error. So throw new error saying port variable not defined. So or else everything goes fine. Then I want to listen at this port, and as we're going to do with localhost, I want to send this as a second parameter, and a callback will be coming back to us, and I want to do server at this port. And I want to create a single route. As I said, I want to do app.get, which is a very basic route /route, and request and response comes back. Now I want a string with me, so let's call that data, and this string is going to be what we're going to be sending back. So I want that to be app running at port and port here, and I want to return send this data back. So that's the only thing that I'm going to be needing right now. So let's go back, clear the screen, and we can try without right now there is no process.env.port variable. So if we try without giving that variable, it will be throwing us an error saying that port variable is not defined. So we can define the environment variable port by saying export port is equals to, let's say, 1212, and then again run index.js. So it's running. Okay, let's run that again, and I will open another tab. Let me zoom in, and I would say export port is equals to 1313, and then I would do index.js. So there are two applications right now running at ports 1212 and 1313. We can even test that out. Let's go to Chrome, and if you go to localhost 1212, you can see that app running at port 1212 is being sent back, right? And if you go to 1313, the same thing comes, but the port here is what we are given, the 1313. So the first thing I want to do is that I want to go into user/local/etc/nginx/nginx.conf. I want to edit this file nginx .conf. This will be the file where your configuration and everything that you want to configure for nginx will be going in. So I want to edit that file. So I want to delete everything inside this. Here you go. So let's start with the first thing. The first thing that I would be writing is that HTTP, and what this means is that HTTP means that we are going to be accepting requests from the layer 7. So if you have studied the OSI model, then you know that the layer 7 is the application layer. Application layer is a layer where the headers and every other detail that we see in the browser is being exchanged with the server. So this is very high level, and if you want to work nginx on layer 4, you can do that, but that is a completely different topic. But for now we are going to be doing this on layer 7. So every configuration that you're going to write is going to be inside this, at least for our video. So inside this I want to say something that there is a directive. So these keywords are called directives. HTTP or server, the thing that comes before the flower braces is called as a directive. So I'm going to create a server. So this HTTP can have many servers. So I can even have multiple servers here. So which means that this server is going to be at some port and this server is going to be at some port, right? So for now I just want one server, and I want that server to be listening at let's say port 80, because I want to go to localhost 80 and then be redirected to different ports. So that's what I want to do. So if you save this and you come back and you do nginx-s reload, and you can see that there are no event section in configuration. So the reason is that I don't know for what reason nginx is telling us to do that, but they need us to have an events section here. I mean, the events directive needs to be here. So let's save that again, and then again let's reload this. So now you can go to localhost 80, and you can see that let's close this. You can see that the welcome page is here. This is the default static page that nginx is serving, but we don't want this to be served, right? We want our applications, our node application to be served. So let's change the default root path which it is giving us. So you can do that by going in and changing the default path using the keyword root, and then giving the path you want. It's /users/monosriram/desktop /nginx-load-balancer, and you can make sure you end that with a semicolon, or else it's going to be it's going to give you an error when you reload this. So again let's reload this and go here, and you can see that it's forbidden because we are not listening to any port first of all, and it does not allow us to listen to any port. So let's configure that. So we have another directive here. Inside a server we can have a location directive. So what this means is that whenever you hit the /root in this folder and at this port, then what do you want to do? So what do you want to do? So you can see that our port is running at 1212. So what I want to do is that I want to redirect the request to this port, right? I want to technically speaking, we can say that I want to proxy the request to this port. So we can do that using proxy pass http 127. So this is the localhost, nothing more than that, and 1212. So that's the port that I want to hit when this /root is being hit. Right now I can reload this again and then go and hit refresh, and you can see that the app running at port 1212 is being shown to us, right? So this is until now it's great. And what I want to do now is that whenever I refresh, I want to load balance between these servers. Right now only one server is being served, the other server is not taken into consideration. So let's do that. So let me go into this configuration file again. So if you want to give multiple multiple proxy passes, you can't just copy this and paste this and give 1313 here. You can't do that, because whenever you reload this, it's going to give you an error saying that it has a duplicate. So what we can do is that you can inside HTTP you can create a directive named upstream, and name of this upstream, let's say backend, and inside this we can just place this the URL that you want to hit, right? So I want to hit this let's say 127.0.0.1 and at port 1212, and before that I want to hit this server, right? So that's the format if you want to proxy pass multiple servers or multiple ports, so 1313 as well. So here we can, instead of saying giving a single proxy here, you can just say backend. Save this, and this backend refers to this, and you can see that we are giving two servers here. I mean two ports, 1212 and 1313. Both are running here and here and here. And now let's go and reload. Let's quit, reload this again. And the error was that I forgot to give the HTTP thing here. You have to give HTTP before you give the name of the upstream here. And now you can reload, and let's go here and refresh this. So you can see that whenever I refresh, the port is being changed, right? So what it means that, as we have talked about this, there are two applications running, and this load balancer is alternating between these two servers. Even if you have the third server, let's create a third server. So what happens if we are going to create a third server? So let's create another at port 1414, and let's say index.js, and another port is running at 1414. And if you try to refresh that, it's not going to be served, because we haven't mentioned that in the configuration file, right? So let's go again here, and just very simple, it's just putting the variable the port number here, and nginx takes care of everything else. To clear the screen. Oops. And we can just reload this using nginx-s reload, and you can come back and see what's happening. So 1212, 1313, and there you go, 1414. So again it alternates between this and this. So this by default, as I said, nginx is going to be using the round robin algorithm, which it's great actually. Most people prefer this round robin because the amount of time taken for amount of time taken to get back to this port after request is maximized at this point, right? So yeah, this is what nginx load balancer is, and thank you for watching. And if you do like, please like, share and subscribe to my channel, and thank you for watching.